Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome, world. Here we are on Friday, February 28th at 11 a.m. Welcome, everybody. We're glad to have you aboard. It's Friday. Everybody getting ready for the weekend. It's always good to have a weekend and relax, right? That being said, today's show is going to be packed with a lot of great information. We're going to be talking about one of the cornerstone business building tactics that you want to use. All the professionals, well, most of the professionals, I don't want to use the word all, but most of the professionals who create these legendary businesses, these legendary lifestyles, utilize the 90-day mini blast. Yep, we're going to be talking about the 90-day mini blast. We touched on it a little bit yesterday, but guess what? We're going to go into greater detail today. You don't want to miss this show. You want to make sure that you have a notepad and pencil. And guess what? You guys asked about the animals. Here we are. This is Lily, our little Yorkie Pomeranian mix. she's part of the show today too. All right. With that being said, let's get going. All right, like I said, today is going to be a power-packed show. If you don't have pen and paper, you might want to get it. Also, before we get started, as always, please give us a thumbs up. You can do it right here during the live broadcast. You can do comments. You can ask questions. Just keep in mind that I'm the moderator and the presenter at the same time and producer, so I'm wearing three hats at once. That's not easy, so bear with me if you comment and I don't get right with you. But the bottom line is, interact with us. Let us know how we're doing. Give us feedback. Ask questions. That's why we're here. We want to make sure that we take care of the questions that you have. If you can't ask questions now, then you're not going to get the right answer. So don't be afraid to send your comments and questions during the show. Additionally, you can go to the YouTube channel. As you know, you can hit, let's see here. You can hit the old hashtag. There it is on the ticker right there. You can go to our YouTube channel. You can comment. You can ask questions there as well, and on our Facebook page. So please share the videos, share our sites, share the information, help your brother and sister, your fellow network marketers, so that they can get access to information like this, because this is the only place you're going to learn this type of information. And as you know, all we do is teach the basic fundamental principles, methods, and strategies of the business building process. You're not going to find it anyplace else. With that, let's get this show officially started. Love doing that. All right. We have officially started. As I said, we're going to talk about the 90-day mini blast, right? And as you know, that is, as I said, one of the most important cornerstone tactics, that you're going to learn and use in your business. If you don't, you're really putting your business at a major disadvantage from day one. Why is that? Because speed and urgency in this business is imperative to your success. The 90-day mini blast inherently has built into it, guess what? Speed and urgency. And you'll see why here in a moment. That's why almost all of your legendary business builders, your professional business builders, whatever term you want to use, because they both apply, you utilize the 90-day mini blast. Some of them call it the 90-day mini blast, some of them call it something else, but it all boils down to this, and the universal term typically is a 90-day mini blast. It is something that when it is brought up amongst all the professional business builders, all of us right away immediately know what that means, what it entails, and why we use it. So with that being said, you would want to learn this as well. Whether you choose to use it, obviously, is a decision that you have to make, but you at least need to know why this is so powerful, why everybody uses it, why we continue to go from one company to another and have almost automatic success. And this, as I said, is one of the cornerstone tactics that we use to make that success happen. We realize, as I said before, that speed and urgency is an essential ingredient in the business building process. We know that we cannot get that money ball over the apex of the mountaintop without that speed and urgency. And if we have to do it, I would imagine that almost everybody in this business who wants to do something special will have to do the same thing. So what is it about the 90-day mini blast that really sets the foundation of that process? What is it that gives the 90-day mini blast its name, its purpose, and its goal? Well, it is in fact what we talked about yesterday a little bit, and we're going to touch on even greater detail today. As I told you, we offer the progress report, the goal sheet, the step-by-step guide at our blog. And our blog is here. And if you go there, I believe on page 4, you're going to be able to get access to those documents. Now, the reason I tell you that is because when you see those documents, you're going to see in there where you can set your 90-day goals. This is the whole purpose of your 90-day mini blast, is to reach those 90-day goals. They work hand in hand, but you have to have realistic goals. And we talked about that yesterday. And the goals, if you go back and watch yesterday's video, because I don't want to go back and rehash that. The thing is, if you go back and watch yesterday's video, which is going to be podcast number 9, you're going to find out through that video how we talked about setting the goals, the volume goals for your group, for yourself, the leader goals, all of that. And when you put those down on the documents that we share with you guys, that is going to give you a clear path, a clear understanding of where you need to go. But more importantly, it's going to set up the very essence of the mini blast. And that is what? To start from day 1 to day 90, working towards the goals you put on those documents. And those documents are imperative to your success, because I used to look at them all the time. Now, we didn't have the progress report and all that back then. I mean, I hand wrote down all of my every week. I sat down and wrote out my progress. I wrote out my goals, and I kept them with me so that I could look at them all the time. Why? Because I understood the power of keeping those goals fresh in my mind and knowing, okay, I got to get to that number 90. And when I do, I've got to have these things on my goal sheet accomplished, or right at the tip of accomplishing those, because I understood that I was setting the business foundation for future success in the 90-day mini blast. And as I told you guys, what is the whole purpose of the 90-day mini blast? The whole purpose, and really the essence of network marketing itself, is that you're sifting through prospects, looking for, finding, and then working with leaders. The more leaders you have in your business, the more profitable it's going to be, the more stable it's going to be, and the faster, the greater the growth is going to be. That is what you want. So understanding that, you understand that while you're doing the mini blast, you're working towards these important goals that you have identified in these documents, ultimately looking for the number of leaders that you put on that document before you started your 90-day mini blast. So the goals that you put on those documents are the essence, as I said just a moment ago, of the mini blast. That is the whole reason you do a mini blast. And because you put down ambitious but not unrealistic goals, you realize from day 1 that you got to get your butt in gear. You cannot afford to be screwing around. You have to go out focused, and you know what? You're going to have good days, you're going to have bad days. Some days you're going to get nothing, and you're going to feel like, what in the world am I doing? Why this is not working? I'm not made for this. And on other days, you're going to get tremendous success. You know what? It all evens out. What you have to do is what? As we talked about, is we preach all the time. You got to do step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5, and you got to do them consistently. And we're going to touch on something here, a little term that I developed years ago that identifies and clarifies exactly how you're going to, why the consistency is important. That's the best way to put it. And I guess that's a good segue into just going ahead and talking about it right now. So you understand that setting the 90-day goals on these documents is the essence of the mini blast. That is the purpose of the mini blast, is to help you work towards those goals aggressively. Now, as I said, look at the ticker below. The number one thing you want to do, and the number one thing that's going to help you achieve those goals that you have set in those documents during the mini blast, is consistent, correct business building activity. We're going to talk about each one of those, because each one of those, you don't want to gloss over any one of those statements there. Consistent, correct business building activity. Okay. Here's the thing. You want to be consistent. And what is that? Step 1 through 5, period. And you want to do them as much as possible every day. Okay. And your goal is to talk to at least 10 people, 20 people. You know, you may sound like an intimidating number. We talked about that yesterday in the podcast. You want to go back and review that podcast. But the bottom line is, I talked in that podcast how really those numbers are not as daunting as you think they are, especially with today's technology where you have all these online lead generation programs and sites and all the other tools that are available that we didn't have back in when Paul and I started. It was really primitive back then. You had to get out and meet people. Imagine that. You had to get out and meet people. You had to talk to people. Oh my gosh, that eliminated 90% of you right there. The bottom line is that today it's easier to do it than it ever was before. And we thought we had it easy compared to what Bill Britt and Dexter Yeager and Richard Call and all of them. All they had was a phone. They didn't even have fax machines. Fax machines back then, well, they did, but I mean, they were very expensive. And even if Bill Britt had one, that doesn't mean his prospects had access to one. So, you know, it was really just a very primitive environment back then. And look what they did. And how did they do that? Out of sheer determination, out of sheer force, out of a commitment. They knew that if they were consistent, that they were eventually going to reach their goals. And even though they didn't have the tools we have today, they were still consistent with the tools that they had at their disposal. And really, it was nothing more than the phone and their mouth, their knowledge. I mean, that was it. And they applied hard work and commitment and dedication and stayed consistent in that. And lo and behold, look what they accomplished. They are the godfathers of this industry. There's no doubt about it. And as years went by, in the name of progress, human beings have brought in these new, shiny, supposedly more effective tools that leverage your time, abilities, and talents even more. And it was supposed to make everybody even better. Well, how's that worked out? Not very well, as it turns out, because you can't get away from the basics. These new shiny tools can't get away from the basics that we're teaching you right here. And one of the basics is consistency. And you just got to, what is the consistency about? The 5 simple steps. Guys, just do the 5 simple steps every day, over and over and over. You carry those 5 simple steps in your pocket, your purse, whatever the case may be. You glance at them, and when you get up, you glance at them before you go to bed. And I'm telling you, they'll come embedded, and you'll become second nature, and that's what you want. You want to be able to just go in an automatic business building mode when you have to, without any hesitation whatsoever, knowing that you're doing the right things. That brings on, induces, and ensures that you're doing things on a consistent basis. Now, let's talk about the second part of that. You see that there's consistent, following that is correct. What is correct business building activity? Folks, it's the 5 simple steps. Don't deviate from that. Don't get off track. Don't introduce something else or something new. Don't drop one of them. Don't say, I don't think that's effective. I don't think that's going to work. I'm telling you, these 5 things are there for a reason, because they work. They're part of the bedrock foundation of the business building process. They make up the very essence of this industry. There's not one of those 5 simple steps that you can drop. There's not one of those 5 simple steps that are not part of the fundamental basics of this industry. Okay. And they're self-evident. You don't need somebody to tell you that. I mean, look, here's the bottom line. You got to talk to people. Well, that's one of the 5 steps. Okay. The bottom line is, if you go and look at those 5 steps, you're going to see that each and every one of them are imperative and necessary for success in this industry. So the correct things that you need to be doing on a regular basis, on a consistent basis, is those 5 simple steps, which we'll go into great detail in a later episode. But let's stay focused on what we're talking about right now. Business building activity. What is that? That encompasses everything. The 5 simple steps are the things that you have to do in order to make progress towards your goals, in order to build the foundation and the business itself. But the business building activity includes you sitting down at the end of the week and monitoring your progress. Includes sitting down and looking inside and monitoring yourself, or getting input from somebody you trust, somebody that has the same knowledge level or more than what you have, so that they can help you sit back and reflect to make sure that you are in fact doing the 5 simple steps and that you're doing them on a consistent basis. that you're doing the right things, help identify potential weak areas. That's what you want to do. That's part of the business building activity. It's not just the 5 simple steps. The music to their ears message. Are you doing it correctly? Are you using the correct keywords that we teach you? Are you keeping within the time frame when you do talking, when you're delivering that message? Are you following up in a timely manner with your prospects? All of this is part of the business building activity, and you'll learn what these business building activities are. And there's not many of them because this is a simple business. This is not a hard business. It takes a lot of hard work. There's a lot of commitment and a lot of focus. There's no doubt about that, and dedication. But here's the thing. It's not hard. It's 5 simple steps. That's all it is. And then it's got some peripheral things around it. Let's use a real life example, for instance. You go to your job every day, right? And you go in there and you know what to do. You've been doing it for so long and you've been doing it consistently, right? So that it becomes second nature to you. You're like, okay, I know what to do. I'm going to go in today and I've got the following things. And you may even make a to-do list of the things that you have in an order of importance that you have to get done on that particular day or maybe that particular week. So you're in a mode. You're in a consistent mode. And matter of fact, you're so good at it and your knowledge is so deep and so broad that you become, quote unquote, an expert. And if somebody, a new person comes in and they run into a problem, they say, well, go down and talk to Sheila. She's been here 15 years. She knows everything. She can help you out with that. That is not a problem. And they come down there. What are you? You're a leader, okay? Because your knowledge, your experience, your time, you do things correctly. And so you have established yourself within the work environment as a leader, and people are going to come to you. Well, guess what? On the peripheral of all of what you do in your cubicle, in your office, in your environment, whatever the case may be, you know what to do. But in the peripheral of that, you may get called into the vice president's office or the president's office to get some input. They may give you a task to do at a different location, maybe a different state. They may give you a volunteer program to set up and run, whatever the case may be. That is a peripheral thing that you need to do, that you need to master, if you will, that's given to you because it's an essence, it's a necessary part of the company's existence, and they trust you because you've shown over a period of time that you do things correctly and that you do care about what you do. And they know that if they ask you to take on this extra responsibility, that not only will you do it, but you'll do it right and it'll be successful. That is a peripheral thing. And when you sit down at the end of the week, part of your to-do list now has been added this extra thing, whatever it may be. And you have to put that on your to-do list to make sure you get it done in a timely manner, in a correct manner. And even though it's not your core job, it's still part of your overall job. Well, that is what we're talking about here when we say business building activity. There's much more, and it's not an overwhelming amount, but there's much more that goes into just the 5 simple steps. There's those peripheral things. And of course, we teach you those things, but we only teach you the important things. And there are advanced peripheral things, but we don't talk about that, okay? Because it's not necessary that you know that right now. So here's the thing. You want to conduct consistent, correct business building activity. We touched on each one of those and how they're important, and they are absolutely essential in your 90-day mini blast. Think about it. When you start on day 1 in your 90-day mini blast, if you're not being consistent, then you're undermining what you're putting together, and the chances of you achieving your 90-day goals are going to be greatly diminished, okay? And of course, life events are going to happen. There might be health issues. There might be family issues. There may be peripheral family issues, extended family, whatever you want to call it. The bottom line is that life does get in the way, and you can't beat yourself up over that. You know what? One thing I haven't brought up, because there have been times where I'll start a 90-day mini blast. I'll get into it 8 or 9 days, or maybe even 2 weeks, a little bit more, and something happened. I have to take a step back. I let my new prospects know. I continue to work with them. I don't just walk away from them, but I tell them, I say, look, I got to take a step back. Here's what's going on. I got to go to another state. I got to do this. and I'm going to do my best to continue building the business. But here's the thing. I'm not going to have access to a phone. I'm not going to have access to a computer. So my ability to continue to build this business is going to be greatly hampered. And so I would let my downline know, but I would tell them I'm going to be back on this day and I'm going to be starting over again. And what I would do is I would come back, and my first day, I would mark it day number 1 on a new mini blast. Okay, it doesn't mean that I ignored the results I got in those 2 weeks. I continued to work with those people. Okay, and what I did is when I came back, I picked up where I left off, and I would start from day 1. I wouldn't start from day 15. I was putting too much pressure on me, and the momentum is gone in that initial burst of 14 days. So it's near impossible to pick that momentum back up and everything. So it's better to do a restart, a reset, whatever you want to call it. And then you start from day 1 and you use the same goals unless you want to adjust those. I don't even add what I did in the first 2 weeks. It's like those 2 weeks didn't exist, even though I continue to work with those people and I'm there for them. But the bottom line is that I set a new date on my 90-day, okay? And I put a new date for day 1. And if I want to use the same goals that I had previously, I will incorporate those into this new 90-day mini blast, and off I go. Okay, because I don't want that pressure. I don't want oh my gosh, I blew it. I'm not going to reach my goals. I got started and had to stop at 15 days or 14 days or whatever, and I blew it. Gosh, and beat yourself up over it. No, that's bull crap. It is what it is. Stop, start a new one. Say, okay, that's life. That happens. It's nothing I can do about it. It's time for me to move on. I was honest in the front with my downline. I'm back. It's time for me to hit the road and get going again. And so you can do that. You can do a reset. And I meant to bring it up yesterday, but to be honest with you, I got sidetracked, forgot about it. But if I stop after 15 days, that's not being consistent, right? So I can't sit there. If I come back and say my downline that I sponsored in those first 2 weeks ask me a legitimate question like, well, Rob, what do you do? There was no way you could develop any consistency. Are you going to maintain, now that you're back, that first 2-week blast? Are you going to pick up where you left off? My correct answer, not only for myself, and not only that it's truthful, but my correct answer to them is no. I had to stop that. It is what it is. I have to start a new one because I have to be consistent. And I can't preach consistency if I had to stop. Because what does that do to them? That lets them know that they can stop anytime they want, and it's not going to affect their consistency, and it's not going to affect their business because Rob did it. He was gone for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 10 days, whatever. And he came back and continued his initial 90-day mini blast. Folks, that's not a good message to send out to your downline. It's not a good example to set. And to be honest with you, it's going to backfire on you. So the best thing to do is do the reset and then go into a consistent business building mode, right? So I just wanted to bring that up because I didn't do that yesterday and I should have, but really it applies to this show and not the previous one. But I did want a little bit of depth about the 90-day goals yesterday. And I should have brought this up so that there was no confusion over that life event that could happen to all of us, right? So let's get back to this and bring it to a close. Consistent, correct business building activity is absolutely essential, okay, in your business building process. You got to do those. Those have to be your mantra. You have to have that at the top of your document. Consistent, correct business building activity. As a matter of fact, you'll see in the documents, we talk about that all the time. Matter of fact, we abbreviate it for CCBBA, which obviously stands for consistent, correct business building activity. We preach it all the time because it is absolutely imperative to your success. Okay, that being said, let's look here. The number 2 thing you want to understand, know, and use in the 90-day mini blast is the music to the ears message. I actually gave after 20-something years, I'm sure I'd have to sit down and look, but it's been a long time since I've been in network marketing. And I gave an example right there on the spot, under pressure. I didn't blow it. I did the music to their ears message. It wasn't perfect. It was missing a little bit here and there, but the bottom line is that I did it. I gave a real live example of the message that I used to build my businesses. I did that because I'm going to share with you because it's essential. You have to say the right message to the right prospect at the right time. We talked about that yesterday. If you don't know what delivering the right message to the right prospect at the right time is, you need to watch podcast number 9, because I go into that in depth, and it's really important that you understand that during delivery of the music to the ears message to your prospect. But the music to the ears message to your prospects, is part of the mini blast. Okay. It's part of the 5 simple steps, right? You have to be able to master this message. And as I've told you guys many times, I used to walk around and say it over and over and over. When I was developing this message and finding out what the keywords were, and I was massaging this message as I was going out and building my business, I had to learn how to get this thing to flow off of my lips like I owned it, like I was born with it. And that way the confidence level of my prospects went up, because they could see that I wasn't stumbling. They could see that I believed in what I was saying. They could see that I've done this before, that this thing was second nature to me. And so when I told them, I know what I'm doing, I have a proven system, all you have to do is work with me. I want to show you how to tap into the system so we can take full advantage of this wonderful financial opportunity this new company is providing us. See how that flowed off of my lips? That's not the whole message, but that part of the message. And you know what? It induced confidence in them, because they said, look, this guy knows exactly what he's saying. There's no rehearsing that. That was, you know what? That guy was as natural and relaxed as possible. And he was saying a message that he believes in. And the thing is that that's what you want. You want them to have confidence in you. You want them to believe in what you're saying. You want to put them at ease so that they can be receptive to the message. And the thing is that this message, as you know, if you've been watching the podcast, if you've been reading our documents, you will see that the message is chock full of keywords that resonate with your prospects. And it's imperative that you understand and use those keywords, because you will have your prospect on the edge of their seat, thinking to themselves, this might be what I was looking for. And you know what? If what they're saying is, what they're telling me is true, if this guy's being honest, if this company checks out like he says, if this is exactly as he's telling me, I may have found what I'm looking for. And that's what they're thinking to themselves. And you know what? When they walk away from your initial meeting, they're looking forward to hearing from you again. They're looking forward to the follow-up that you set before you parted ways in that initial meeting. And the thing is that all those keywords were truthful, they were honest, they were descriptive, and they gave a clear picture to your prospect of what you're presenting to them, that they know walking away what's lying at their feet. Okay, that there's a new company that you're tapping into. There's a real chance to create wealth of this new company, but the timing is essential. You have the knowledge, you have the experience, and you have the system to take advantage of this company. You're looking for partners to work with you in this business model to take advantage of this opportunity this company's presenting everyone. Okay, and then again, that's in a nutshell, the message. But the bottom line is that you want them walking away having that image that they may have found what it is they're looking for. This could possibly help them reach their goals. Nina's coming to see us. And they realize that you, because of the way you handled yourself, because of your confidence, because of your knowledge and experience, they're going to walk away from the initial meeting saying that person really has their act together. If this company checks out, and if I'm going to do this business, that's someone I want to work with. That's the power of mastering and utilizing the music to the ears message. And that's part of the consistent, correct business building activity. Why? Because it's part of the 5 simple steps. And what develops consistency? Doing the same thing over and over. And what do you do over and over in this business model? The 5 simple steps. And what do? They make up the very essence of the business building process. You see how all this ties together? You understand how they work together? And as I've told you before, If this business model is not working for you, it's going to work against you. It doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care about your reputation, your fame, your position in life, your money, your checking. It doesn't care about any of that. What it cares about is whether you do this business right or not. If you do, it's going to start to perform for you. If you don't, it's not going to do a thing for you. You can work your tail end off. And if you have any success, it'll be limited, it'll be small and limited. And the next thing you know, you'll wake up one day and it'll be gone. Okay. All right. So music to the ears is a very important part of the 5 simple steps, which make up the foundation of the business building process, which you are using the 90-day mini blast on top of that foundation so that you can catapult your business to incredible heights over the next year or two. Okay. And hopefully it'll be sooner than a year or two. And I'll tell you this, you're going to make money the whole time. It's just a matter where you want to stop. And I'll tell you that once you get the ball rolling, you don't want to stop. You need to have somebody that's experienced to say, don't stop, man. You're on a roll. You are on the verge of achieving something great. Don't stop. You know what? You've been this far. Put your head down, go another 90 days or whatever. You got to have somebody experienced to be able to look at your business and tell you whether you can chill out or if you need to go forward. Because look, you're going to get one chance in this business with this company to create a legacy business, an incredible lifestyle, a lifetime lifestyle and income. You don't want to mess that up, right? Okay, so let's go. Let's see here. All right, number 3. Yeah. Okay, number 3, finding and working with leaders. What did I tell you the essence of this business is? It's sifting through people, finding and looking for leaders. And I always tell you, the more leaders you have, the bigger the business you're going to have, the more profitable it's going to be, the more stable it's going to be, and the more efficient it's going to be. And that's how you get the drink out of the coconut money, where you can sit on the beach, any beach you want in the world, have a high-level lifestyle, be able to afford pretty much anything you want, and you can be on any beach drinking out of a coconut and never have to worry about a thing. Why? Because you found and identified and worked and developed enough leaders in your business that you could walk away and never have to lift another finger. And that's what you have at your fingertips. And that ties into what I was talking about a minute ago. And that is this: if you are working your tail end off, and before you say, I'm going to stop, I'm right where I need to be, get with someone that has some experience and say, you know what, you're right at a legacy level. You're right at a legendary level. If you do this over the next 90 days, you're going to finish this thing off and you're going to be one of the legendary business builders of all time. I don't know if that's your goal, but the thing is, you have a right to know that so that you can make that decision. And if I don't tell you, I can promise you a lot of the other people aren't going to tell you. But the bottom line is, you always, and I've told you this many times in our podcast, the difference between building a small business or medium-sized business and a large business is that it's that much. You're doing the consistent business building activity, but it's that much more effort, that much more time, and you get your business over the top, and you're maximizing that thing to the hill. Because look, if you're going to work to get to that 90, getting that close, in other words, 90, you get 90%, you're 90% close to utopia. Let's put it that way. Why not go the extra 5 to 10% and reach a utopia, right? Okay, and you could be that close and not realize it. So you got to, once again, have somebody that knows what they're doing, look at your business and say, yeah, you know what, you're good to go. If you want to stop now, you can, because with this comp plan, you can work another year and not be able to reach utopia. So you know what, if you're ready to retire, go for it. On the other hand, you might be with a company and comp plan that's going through some tremendous growth, and that comp plan is very favorable, and that person will say, you know what, if you sponsor another 10, 20 people and get 3 or 4 more leaders, you're going to max this thing out. You're right there. I would say work another 6, 8 months, get this thing finished off, and you're going to be set in the legendary business builder status for life. So totally up to you, but understand, this is the essence of the business right here: finding and working with leaders. And as I said, without the, with the fear of me repeating myself over and over, it is imperative that you find as many leaders as possible, as quickly as possible. And here's the thing: as we close this subject out. You know what? Your business, based on what you want to achieve in this business, okay, you may need 12 leaders in your whole organization. Doesn't mean that you personally sponsored them. You can get your leaders from depth. The bottom line is that you don't know the number of leaders. You build your business until you get stability to where every month, for a minimum of 3 months, it's spitting out the same kind of volume, the same kind of paycheck, the same kind of bonuses. Some people call that a rut, and some people call that I'm done. Okay. It's all based on what you want from this business model, right? Okay. But the thing is that it could be 12 really good leaders that could do that for you, or it could be 30, or it could be 50. It's all based on the size of the business you want to build, the type of lifestyle that you want to achieve, and what time frame you want to achieve those things. Nobody can sit down and say that, hey, if you get 10 to 20, 25, 30 leaders, you're done. Okay? Because the comp plan is different. The momentum is different. The dynamics that surround the company and the business building process itself is different. Nobody, you and your spouse, could both join the same company, start the same day, and get to the same mile marker, and both of you could sit down and look at your businesses, and let's say you guys are making the same type of money, okay? And you could look at your business, and one of you will have 22 leaders, and another one will have 29, okay? That's about as perfect an example as I can give. Nobody can tell you. You might say, well, why is that? Well, there's no real answer. You just have to do what? Consistent, correct business building activity until you reach the level that you want. And the first level that you're going to try to achieve is your 90-day goals. And as I told you before, at the end of those 90 days, you stick your head up and you look around and you say, hey, this is good. I want to keep going. Or you say, hey, this is not really where I wanted to be. I need to make adjustments. Or you stick your head up and say, you know what, this sucks. I need to get out of this company. Okay? I mean, that's what you do. And then if you're going to move forward, you make some adjustments in your goals and you get back at it and you finish it off. Okay? And I always encourage my people, do it now, get it over with. Don't drag it out. Okay? Don't drag it out. Not many people can survive that long. Get this business building process over, whether it takes 3 months, 6 months, 8 months, whatever. Just put your nose to the grinding stone and go. Get it over with. All right. It's worth it. I'll tell you. All right. Number 4, use the threshold of profitability. We have not talked about that yet, but it is vitally important to your success. And I wrote a document called It's All Network Marketing. It's all about the back end. I think it's all about the back end. I know that's one of the titles. I'll have to look, but it'll be on the blog, okay, on page 4, I believe. It's going to be there. Nope, not there. There. Yeah, that's it, right there. Okay, and that's where it's going to be. All right. Okay, so here's the thing. Let's go back right here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. All right, so use the threshold of profitability. What you have, not only the essence of the business, as we just talked about, is what? Leaders. We all know that, okay? But the other critical part of this business, and I have a training video on this in the members area that just will blow you away. And if you guys are liking this content, give me a thumbs up. Please comment. Let us know that we're hitting the nail on the head here. Interact with us. Ask any questions. I don't want to forget to let you know that I am paying attention here. And if you need any questions answered, I'll do that during the show. And give me some feedback, knowing that what I'm teaching you is hitting the nail on the head. Give me the thumbs up during the show. That would be great. Okay, so back to the threshold of profitability. This is one of those cornerstone things as well. Because look, the essence of the business is, in fact, leaders. But here's the thing. If your business is going to be profitable, in my example, in the members area, I have Mr. Green and Mr. Red. And there's a direct comparison. And as people know, You can do anything with numbers, okay? And that's very aggravating, but also very comforting at the same time. Look, when your people are using numbers for bad purposes, people catch on to that and get away. And that's good. We have built-in radars, if you will. On the other hand, if people are using numbers for good, you can also tell that as well. Your radar says, yeah, this is true. This is good. Yeah, these numbers make sense. And yeah, these numbers are appropriate and they do apply to real life. Okay. And that's what I do with Mr. Red and Mr. Green, because you can use numbers in network marketing to paint any picture you want, good or bad. You could take a bad situation and make it sound good and look good. And that's not good, obviously, to do. But the thing is that people eventually catch on because the radar says, hey, this is not adding up. Something here is not right. So that's the great thing about this. All this stuff we teach is self-evident. We tell people that all the time. Don't believe what we're saying. Use Mother Nature. Use the law of averages, if you will. They're going to reveal whether what we're telling you is true or not. Plus, the history of network marketing, the 60 plus years, bear out the things that we teach you when we're talking about numbers. So here's the thing. The realistic part is that you don't want to use some pie in the sky numbers where everybody's doing the exact same thing, because that's just not life. It's not going to happen. As you build a larger business, the vast majority of people are going to do basically nothing to something to a little bit more, and then mediums. It's just going to vary. In other words, you're going to have some people going to do 10 PV, and PVs for personal volume. Going to do 10 PV per month. You're going to have some people going to do 30, some people do 5. You're going to have some people that do 55. Very few people are going to be doing the exact same thing. But for the leaders, for the people that joined this business because of one reason, and that is to better their life, make more money, or to have a better lifestyle, okay, or to get out of the rat race, to have more time freedom is what I meant. They're joining this business for one of those three, okay? The bottom line is that they're building that business for one thing, one reason, because your message, your music to their ears message resonated with them when you first met them. They joined your business, and their whole purpose is to pursue the results they want that they set in that 90-day document. Okay, they're doing their 90-day mini blast because they believe in what you showed them. They see that it's true. They understand the 5 simple steps are part of the business building process and set the foundation for greater things. They get that. They understand it. And because you showed them that if they create 10,000 group volume by having 100 people doing 100 PV, well, there's your threshold of profitability right there. 100 people doing 100 PV, and the threshold of profitability magic number is 100. Okay, that means 100 PV per month. That means that leaders will say, you mean to tell me that if I do 100 PV per month, purchasing product from this company that will improve my health or improve my life, whatever, and find other leaders. You've taught me that the essence of the business is finding and working with leaders. So if I do that, and those leaders in my organization, as it grows, they're doing 100 PV too, I'm going to create 10,000 group volume, and I'm going to get paid this by this company. Yeah. Well, I can see how I can make that happen. Well, how long does it take to get 100 people? Well, it's different for everybody. But if you do the 90-day mini blast and you understand the numbers, and one of the important numbers in the business building process of developing a group volume is 1/3 will do it now, 1/3 will do it later, 1/3 will never do it. If you understand those numbers and work those numbers and continue to be consistent or perform consistent, correct business building activity, which includes the 5 simple steps I'm teaching you, guess what? If you just do the 5 simple steps and you're consistent in it, you find and work with leaders, the 10,000 will come. Okay, because you're going to teach them also the threshold of profitability and why it's important that they do what? A minimum of 100 PV per month. Okay, because if they do it, they're setting the example. And when you tell people why they want to do 100 PV, because it's all a numbers game. Network marketing is a numbers game. You got to understand the numbers. You got to work the numbers. And that they'll go, oh, okay. And because they're people that are used to setting and achieving goals, and they work in a corporate environment where they sometimes do things they don't really believe in, but they do them anyway, and they get them done. And they understand that sometimes the things they have to do are for the greater good of the company or the greater good of their family, whatever the case may be. They get the idea of greater good. So they get the fact that if you say, look, you just got to do 100 PV minimum, okay? We encourage you to go more than that. You don't have to go crazy, but the minimum of 100 PV. Tell your people, show your people why they need to do 100 PV. Leaders get it. They'll step up and say, not a problem, I'm doing that. And you know what? You work with the people that are what? Doing 100 PV. You work with the people that are what? That are out there building the business. See, leaders identify themselves by their actions, not their words. And if you tell them, look, you got to do a minimum 100 PV, you got to set these goals, you got to do this, you got to do that, and you got to get started right away. You do these 5 simple steps on a consistent basis, and you're on your way. All you got to do is apply the hard work of the hours to put in to work towards those 90-day goals. And they say, I'll do it. And will you be there if I have questions? Yeah. Will you be there if I need help? Yes, I'm there. Okay, then off I go. And they've got a leader. Okay. And you can get leaders from death. You don't have to sponsor all the leaders. And I'll get into the numbers of network marketing later. We're not going to talk about that. But here's the thing. Once you show them the reason they're doing the 100 PV and that ensures their business profitability. And what does that mean? That means that they are going to make money from day one. That doesn't mean like day one they start monies in their pocket. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that from day one, they know what they have to do. They know why they're using the threshold of profitability and promoting it. They know why they're doing 100 PV. They're investing in their own future. They're investing in the profitability of their own business, and they're setting the example for others. And that threshold of profitability, if you do anything less than 100 PV, and now go back to Mr. Red and Mr. Green, if you look at those examples in that presentation, you will see how Mr. Red and Mr. Green are doing the same amount of work, but Mr. Green is way ahead of Mr. Red because of the fact that he did consistent, correct business building activity, which included the threshold of profitability, and that Mr. Green's making a whole lot more money than Mr. Red, and that Mr. Red has to work 3 times as hard to achieve the same level of success as Mr. Green, all because he used the threshold of profitability. Okay, so you see how there again, numbers are playing an important, critical role in your success and in the business building process. And part of that is the threshold of profitability. Yes, the essence of this business is finding and working with leaders. But another cornerstone thing that needs to be done is the threshold of profitability, because you don't want to be out there working your tail end off and getting pennies on the dollar. Okay, if you're not using the threshold of profitability, you're going to get pennies on the dollar. Because what is the purpose of setting the goal in your 90-day document, goal list, of creating 10,000 group volume and saying, okay, if I do that, the company's going to pay me this, and not use the threshold of profitability? The threshold of profitability will ensure that you have a realistic chance and that you will achieve 10,000 group volume, and that you have a realistic chance of doing it in 90 days. And realize that you don't have to sponsor each and every leader. Remember, if you're delivering the music to the ears to the right prospect at the right time, and that music to the message, music to their ears message is attracting high quality prospects to you, because that message is full of the keywords that will either repel or attract people to you. And high performing people who expect high success from themselves, in other words, they want to live a high level life, they're going to be attracted to those keywords. You're speaking their language. For people that are not used to that, for people that don't want that, it's going to repel them away from you. And so it will naturally, inherently attract the type of people that will make your business go. As you can see, all this plays together. Remember, I'm talking about, we're always teaching you how to build one thing on top of the other. That's the reason why we started out with the basics 10 days ago, 10 shows ago, because they're essential, because they build one on top of the other. I brought up the threshold of profitability as number 4, because it is one of the last things you need to talk about, but it's one of the most important things, because we have to teach you how to put all the other pieces together first and then cap it off. This is the cherry on the sundae right here. The threshold of profitability. You have to understand the importance of it and how to do it. As you know, we have great training videos in our members area that will teach you. You said, well, okay, how do I promote the threshold of profitability? How do I ensure that this goes throughout my business? How do I relate this message in the correct way to my new people so that they get the importance of the threshold of profitability and of doing 100 PV, and that it's an investment in their business, not an expense. Okay, we teach you how to do all of that. Here, we're just letting you know that it's here, that it's a part of the business building process. Once again, I can promise you, you're not learning this stuff anywhere else. Nobody's teaching you this stuff. You're only going to learn that here. And it's the reason why we're doing this stuff, to let you know. And the thing is that we have that business building process. We have that business building system, the proven business building system that's based on the fundamental principles of this industry as a whole. And as you can see, we're teaching you the basic process of the business building process itself. We're helping you set the foundation. You can use what we're teaching you now today. You can go back and watch video number 1 all the way to podcast number 10, or in other words, podcast number 1 to 10, and you are getting the essence of the business. If you write down what we teach you in those podcasts, you're going to be able to have in front of you a clear blueprint of exactly what to do. And if you're not doing that now, you can sit back and say, I'm going to start over. This is how to do it. These guys are showing me exactly how to make this happen. And if you want duplication in your business sooner rather than later, all you have to do is tell your downline to go here, become a member, get access to this information. We're all going to do this. And you know what? If you get with us, we'll give you a huge group discount where you can bring your whole downline over. Okay? And that's the way it should work. It's the way business should work. You know what? You're going to do that. We're going to help you out. All right. We don't want anybody to be excluded. So the bottom line is that you're learning the basics right here. Even if you don't become a member, you're learning the things that you need to do. The thing is you're going to run into some challenges. Then what do? Okay. Well, we don't have the time to address all that. There again, that's the reason why we have the members area, so that you can get access to the, hey, I got this challenge. What do I do here? And you can go there, and there's training videos for that. There's documents for that. We do live training as well. So the bottom line is that you're going to have at your fingertips not only the business building system itself, but you're going to have people like ourselves who are dedicated on helping people to do the right things, instead of all these people out there filling you up full of crap with stuff that doesn't work half the time, if at all. It's amazing anybody succeeds in this industry at all, to be honest with you, with the stuff that's out there. But, all right, so we covered everything. Don't forget, you can find us on any one of our platforms. All you have to do is hashtag TheMLM-Solution, hashtag TheMLM-Solution. Go to our Facebook page. Please promote, share, do little jumpy things, smiley things, all that other stuff. I can't keep up with all that stuff that's on there. Paul takes care of that. But I do know it's there. I see it. So you can go there and do that on the YouTube channel. I know that you can put in the search bar the hashtag TheMLM-Solution. That'll bring us up. And I think it'll do on Twitter and every place else as well. This reason why we put that out there. Our blog location, as you can see, is right there. I'm flashing it right now. You can see that the TheMLM-Solution is our blog, and it's 4 or 5 pages deep. You should be able to go and find the shows there in chronological order. I would encourage you to go there. There's free documents there as well. There's all kinds of things, and you can go there as well. And here's the thing, on there on the sidebar, you'll see where you can register for notifications when we post new content, because we'll be posting content on the blog that we will not be posting on Facebook or YouTube, Twitter, or anything else. Okay, so you're going to get access to stuff that you are not going to find here. So you'll want to go to the blog, and you'll want to go and register there. Now, this is not going to be some kind of shenanigan. We're not going to try and sell you anything. What it is that we're going to notify you of the next broadcast, but we're also going to let you know, hey, we just put up a document. You might want to check it out, or hey, we just put this up. There might be some free gifts there. We're going to have guest speakers in the near future. So there's a lot of things coming down the road. Once again, they'll be promoted on the blog, not on our social platforms. Okay. So with that being said, please register on YouTube. As you know, there's a little notification bell. You have to hit it twice. You have to hit it twice in order to get notifications when we post new content and videos and things of that nature on our YouTube channel. Please follow us on Twitter. We're posting stuff there all the time. And additionally, there's going to be more postings coming on all the platforms in the near future. So I just wanted to let you guys know that we are growing. Yes, the numbers on our social platform, to be honest with you, have just been blowing me away. I know they say that every show, but I did not expect the response. It's absolutely phenomenal. I was looking at some of the analytics before I came on, and to be honest with you, I continue to be amazed. They continue to go up, and I'm flattered and honored that you guys find this stuff helpful and that you guys are following us. That is very humbling, and we're very happy to be able to do it. And we're going to continue to do it as long as everybody feels that this is going to help them. So we're just getting started. We're only on podcast number 10, and we got a long way to go. We're here for the long term. We hope that this morphs into something much bigger. We think it is, based on the numbers and the following that we're developing already. And it's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to continue to have some fun down the road. So we will talk to you guys later. Have a great weekend. Remember, Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, just like every Monday through Friday, we're going to be on here. We do not do things on the weekend. I may do some minor postings on the weekend, so you might want to keep an eye out for those. But the bottom line is that Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be talking about important things that will help you build a business sooner rather than later. We really want you to help make 2020 your best year ever. And that's the reason why we're providing this information. Show on Monday, you want to be there. It's going to be, once again, chock full of great information. You're not going to get anyplace else. And it's going to be, what is your real product? If you don't know what your real product is, you're at a major disadvantage. You're promoting the wrong thing, setting yourself up for failure. You'll find out why I say that on Monday. Once again, what is your real product? Please share, have other people join us on Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to find out what your real product is in network marketing as a whole, not just the company you're with. With that being said, you guys have a great weekend. God bless, and we'll see you Monday. Take care.